Sometimes it's hard to know what to do when our students become stressed. Here are 5 steps to guide us through a process. First, we regulate our own emotions. Then, we can help the student with their emotions. Next, we can brainstorm next steps together. Finally, we close the conversation, and afterwards, we follow up. Let's look at each step. Imagine an afternoon class on a typical day. All of a sudden, a student catches your eye. You notice that she's acting differently than usual, and her behavior concerns you. You wonder what's going on. The first step is to check in with yourself and regulate your own feelings. We're more constructive and helpful to others when our own bodies and minds are settled. What are you feeling right now? What strategy will help you settle so that you can be more constructive and skillful when you approach your student? A pause? A deep breath? A moment to empathize with the student? Our calm energy also helps soothe our students' nervous systems. Second, we turn our attention to the student's feelings. If a student is really activated, we need to allow time for their body and mind to calm. We can wait with them patiently, taking deep calming breaths ourselves, knowing they'll be better able to manage their emotions when they're less activated. We can offer them a walk, a glass of water, or a reminder to breathe. If they're very stressed, ensuring their sense of safety and security is critical, and other processing can come at a later time. When the student is calm enough, we can help them begin to put words to their experience. In the beginning, children usually cannot tell what they're feeling. Instead, we can gently probe for the story of what happened. It might take a few prompts to elicit the details of a story, so it's important to be open, calm, and curious in our tone. Once we've understood the story, we can gently help the student identify their feelings. Remember, we can't gauge from behavior how a child feels on the inside. So rather than guessing, we can remind ourselves to be emotion scientists, open and curious, not judgmental. Remember, all feelings are important information. Often the first feelings a person names are not the real core feelings. A child might say that they're angry, but underneath they're really disappointed, or they're ashamed. As the adult, we can reflect together with the child to make sure that we understand their real feelings, and this takes time. Once we've validated a child's feelings, the third step is to think together about the child's next steps. Our students will likely have their own solutions that are different from ours. It's important to listen to their ideas first and help them along. Sometimes next steps are small, like thinking about the situation from a different perspective. Or sometimes next steps are big, like initiating a hard conversation. It helps to identify what's in the student's control and what they need support with. These conversations are not necessarily linear. Sometimes the student just needs to be heard and seen. Sometimes the conversation weaves back and forth between self-regulation, naming feelings, and next steps until we finally land on a direction that feels right. We can bring the conversations to a close by ending on something positive. Maybe you share your trust in their ability, or remind them that the feeling is temporary, or will pass, or will get better. It can help to reiterate the next step that you and the student have landed on. Follow up with the student later. We can incorporate occasional discrete check-ins into the week. The challenge could repeat itself until a solution is found, so it might take a few tries. Our presence reminds them that they're not alone, and our support can be a bridge that helps them to the other side.